Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Boy, am I in a good mood and excited to be in a space of sharing gratitude with you. Looking forward to hearing what you are grateful for. If you are here live on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, hi, say hello. Let us see that you are here and present and we are sharing this moment together. Good morning, Gerbot. Thank you for saying hello. Happy Tuesday. I have been away for a few days and so bursting at the seams with gratitude, and I think it's gonna come out in a song. So if you have some words to sing, please add them along. And if you've got gratitude that's filling you up, well, get it in a bowl or fill your cup. We're gonna share all the things that make us happy, and no need to worry if your hair is nappy, because we're all friends even if we haven't met, because it's all good when love is the bet. Good morning. Thank you, Gerbot. Thank you. Happy pre-birthday to me. I really kicked into birthday perspective this weekend. Had a little gathering, a little very intimate sound healing song circle at our home with just a few friends and some musician friends of Lisa's, or now they're my friends, and so blessed to be joined by my cousin and my brother and my mom. And there was one point when we were all listening and kind of chilling and listening to this beautiful music, and I went over to my brother. I'm like, hey, let's go and just lie on both sides of mom and have her put her arms around us. So we laid on both sides of my mom, who's 82 and so spry and quick and agile and awesome. And then my cousin Tracy was right next to us too. And then I'm like, Lisa, come over. And then so she sat kind of holding us and singing as this beautiful, just like family cuddle was happening. It was so incredible. And I've been really, really appreciating my mom recently and really aware of the preciousness. There was a woman who was in attendance who afterwards was like, that was so beautiful to watch you guys, and also really sad. I really missed my mom. And I'm very aware that there will be a time when I will be missing my mom. And I don't dwell on that. It really makes me so grateful for the times when they're happening. And that was one of the feelings I had last night as I was in this cuddle, not last night, 2 nights ago, where I was like, this is a peak experience. This is amazing. It reminded me of 11 years ago when I brought my mom to Burning Man, and just sharing that experience, that part of my life with her, and then having her help me lead the Pink Ride bike parade, and looking to her at my side and seeing her and her lit up and her smile, and knowing that, what an experience for her to see this little thing grow into something kind of wonderful. And then last night also to see not just that I grew into something wonderful, but that I'm a good enough man that I could find a woman as amazing as Lisa. And then to have her two sons and Tracy, it was just, it was so good. So good. So I am riding my birthday bliss. I started a little early. Gonna keep celebrating through the week. and just feeling so awesome. Good morning, Juan. Good to see you. Gerbot says, I am grateful for a successful garage sale, finding new homes for my old stuff. May even be able to park the car in the garage again soon. What? People use garages to park cars? I don't think I've ever done that. We were thinking about you. It was Saturday, right? I was thinking about you, and I was trying to imagine what kind of treasures you would be giving up. I had the thought that there was definitely some like gadgets and cool tech stuff that would be a treat for someone that knew what it was, but that was just my guess. Maybe all sorts of like electric unicycle accessories that you've outgrown. Would anyone else like to share something that they are feeling grateful for? I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I got to sing with my mom and my brother. My mom sings in the choir every weekend, and many, many, many years ago, my brother and I, when we were in the church choir, we were young boys and not taking it seriously and goofing off and like almost intentionally singing bad, and we got asked not to return to choir. And that hits you hard. You develop an identity. Oh, I can't sing, I don't sing. And I never did for decades, never did karaoke. And then like 6-7 years ago, I was at a sound healing song circle and decided to try. And I really enjoyed it. And my voice isn't bad. I mean, you wouldn't know by my morning songs because I'm kind of in silly mode, but if I can get into it, I'm not terrible. And I enjoy it. And there's something about like, I think what really helped in getting my mom and my brother and my cousin singing, because it was not their initial plan, was when you're in a group and you're singing with the group, songs like mantras and chants, and you can pick it up pretty quickly. Singing in a group, it changes your experience. Like being sung to, like a concert, versus singing with a group is the equivalent of like going to Burning Man to check it out versus helping create the city. And the experience you have when you are a part of its creation, there's just this, you're breathing and living in this creative space that is joyous. And just when you open up and let sound come through you. So I encourage you, if you are someone that says, I can't sing, that yes, you can. You might not be good, but that's not the point. Good meaning, you might not have perfect pitch or whatever. And if you're in San Diego and you're saying, gosh, I wonder if I can sing, today's the last day to join Lisa's choir. There's a practice tonight. So I'm going to be bringing my mom there and singing tonight. So I'm grateful for song, and I'm grateful for Lisa's impact on me in opening up a door that has been closed out of fear. Juan says, happy last day of being younger. I am always super grateful for the opportunity to become older. 6 is great. Well, speaking of numbers, 54, for some reason, I really like that number. It sounds good. Like 50 sounded good, 51, 52, 53, 54. That sounds like, I like the way that sounds. Feels like a auspicious number. Thanks, Juan. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you. Juan says, every day is a great day. True, and yet sometimes hard to remember. I kind of had this flood this morning of appreciating being in a body. I don't believe that consciousness and human life are, there's a Venn diagram of those two things. And so to be conscious and in a human body is a real, real gift. Every day is a great day. If you can remember that. And the way you remember that is through gratitude, through continually remembering all the things that are good instead of allowing your mind to fall into its focusing on what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. So thank you so much for helping me and helping one another to practice this. Lisa shared something with the group about her appreciation of my dedication to gratitude and its impact on us. And it really felt really good. I'm way less needy of external validation, but I sure do appreciate being appreciated by my beloved. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you. Feeling the birthday joy. Thank you, Echo. Happy late birthday to you. All right. Man, May is quite a month. My bestie Dimitri's birthday was a couple days ago. My brother's was the 22nd. Lisa's was May 10th. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. And thank you, Tara. Grateful I get to be alive at the same time as you. Isn't that just amazing? Like the astronomical odds of being conscious on a planet, and then at the same time as other conscious beings that are on journeys that are similar enough that we can inspire one another and love one another, learn from one another. What a gift. Whee! Kiribati says, amen. Grateful for this practice. Yeah, I almost take it for granted, Speaking of when you help to keep from taking things for granted, but it's such a part of my life that occasionally when I'm in a situation and people are talking, like my mind goes to like, oh, well, there's another way to look at this. And I was like, oh, right, that's the gift of having a strong gratitude practice. I'm very careful not to spin something and make it happy when they're feeling sad. That's not what gratitude is about. In fact, if you watch the new show, Four Seasons, there is a really good part of the story when there's a tragedy and one character is like, silver lining, silver lining, silver lining. And their partner's like, I feel alone right now and I just need to be able to allow me to be sad. Natasha says, I am so grateful for my family, our home, the ability to keep bettering our space. I'm also very grateful I'm not in the PMS phase of my perimenopausal self right now. Oh, as a partner who has recently had some wonderful steps towards getting herself in balance, I'm so compassionate for the female experience of premenopause and menopause. Whew. Thank you, Erica. Thank you. Appreciate it. I told my John the other day that I'm grateful for your love and devotion for Lisa. It's so endearing. Thank you. Sometimes I always joke with Lisa about I don't like to say it out loud, but I really love you. But I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you. Oh no, I already told you. I love you. And I'm really grateful, yeah, it's like she's so easy to love, and I'm so grateful, and I so appreciate time with her, her touch, her words. I have so much respect for her, and if you if you know me, you know that I do not hold my thoughts too close to the chest. I'm I'm pretty transparent, and so it feels good for me to share my love. And I think, from what I understand, that is a often desired thing for the feminine, to have feelings declared. Like, I want the world to know that this is my woman and I love her. And I am very clear in that in my heart and my mind. And so I am very loud in my expression of it. She told me something over the weekend where I think she'd be okay with me telling this. I had this thought that, like, other than children, you're the only person I've ever known that every time I think of you, my nervous system relaxes and I feel good. And I said, I will work every day to remain deserving of that reputation. Juan says, happy birthday! You are the definition of awesome. Thank you for all of your gifts that you give every day. Thank you, Juan. But what's really wonderful is that Lisa likes me back. Not just likes me, she loves me, and she feels so lucky to be with me. I think, in many ways, I'm an answered prayer. And honestly, like, it took me a lot of years and a lot of incredible women had to endure my learning. But I think I'm a really good partner now. I think I'm in touch with my strong masculine, and confident in it enough that I don't need to assert. I can be strong without acting strong. And I can respect and have reverence for her without it affecting my need for importance or value. And I'm comfortable enough in who I am that I can love completely. And I've had enough experience in the world and of myself and others, and recognizing that the human being is a complex thing filled with so many elements and parts, and sometimes some of those parts are very immature and reactive, and that presence of the less evolved parts, the more traumatized parts, does not devalue the being. It is part of the complexity that makes a miraculous whole. And then hopefully you find someone whose miraculous whole works with yours, and the things that are their difficult parts are ones that you can love as they heal from them. Glenn says, many happy returns of the day. It is also my oldest friend's birthday. Mine is next week. Man! Wait, next week will be June though, right? So we won't include you in our May birthday pride, but happy early birthday, Glenn. Natasha says, yes, please do keep sharing your love. It is beautiful and it makes people feel good. I also think I've heard it from a lot of, Lisa and are in our 50s, and this is our first time finding a partner, and worth the wait. I what I and I say that maybe that came out the wrong way. The first time finding someone where we knew we wanted to build a life together. I think that, many people are fixated on finding someone, not wanting to be alone, and that is totally understandable. And it can feel hopeless, a few too many heartbreaks, and it's easy to want to close off the heart and say, I don't want it. But I think the effective technique is not to say, I don't want it, but to try to get to a place where you realize, I don't need it. That I am whole. I am lovable. I am a perfect child of God, or however you want to phrase that in your spiritual, biological, scientific framework. And you're a perfect entity with little wounds. And as you heal more and more and more of your wounds and become more and more celebratory and excited by the person you are, that is the vibration that attracts into it someone who is your match. And it can take 50 years or multiple lifetimes. Anyone else want to share any gratitude today? Gerbot says, I think the best relationships are the ones where you both help and encourage each other to be your best self. So true. And I think that can be a very, that can be tricky, because it takes real tact and grace to play that role for one another without resentment or without defensiveness. Like, I was practicing I was recording something. I've decided that I'm going to take my old my old Hug Nation videos that are like lessons, and then get the transcripts from them, put them into ChatGPT, and clean them up into scripts, and then re-record them as more polished videos, as like kind of a re-releasing or relaunching of Hug Nation. That's my current idea and dream. So I've got a teleprompter. I just bought a new camera that should be here in a week, and really figuring out how I'm going to set up a set to do this, trying to, be quality that is comparable to, what a good YouTube channel would have. And I was recording about Thich Nhat Hanh, and Lisa heard from the other room, and I'm not sure exactly how she said it, but she says, do you pronounce it Thich Nhat Hanh or Thich Nhat Hanh? And as soon as she said it, I knew that I was wrong. I was pronouncing his name wrong. And I'm like, oh, Thich, you're right, right. I'm like, and I just suddenly was struck. I'm like, wow, that was a really elegant way to offer me a suggestion of help. It did not make me defensive. It did not tell me I was wrong. It was a compassionate opportunity for me to do a little inquiry before I did something that I would maybe regret or have to re-record or feel bad about. And it's like, wow, so well done, Lisa. Thank you. And there's other things like I occasionally take Ambien for sleeping, and more research says that that's not great for you, and especially for end of life, dementia and Alzheimer's, that most sleep medications are detrimental. And so Lisa had some concern, and the way that she shares her concern for my health is one of like, can I understand why you use the medication, and can I share with you some of my concerns, and would you be willing to explore other options? And from that place, I am able to, instead of being told I'm doing something wrong, or being like argued with, you shouldn't do this, she allows me to be like, to think it through and say, I don't want to leave her with a old man with dementia. You know, I want to be good to her always. And part of being good to her is checking in with my medication decisions now. So, yes, so good to be inspired by the other. And, well, I think there's the wording of help and encourage. And it's the help and encourage that, from my perspective, really needs an element of mutual inspiration, so that you're not feeling like, if I don't do this, I'm going to have some shame because she wishes I didn't. Good morning, Michael. Michael says, grateful for sunshine and good friends. Erica says, grateful for a brother and sister-in-law who take care of me. Thanks, Erica. Tara says, Lisa is so awesome. She really is. She's like, I'm so grateful. I think I've told you that we have a sign in the bathroom. It's a quote that I said to her one time. I'm like, you are proof that I'm as awesome as I always thought I was. Like, if you want to be with me, I must be pretty great. Dustin says, approaching with curiosity. Yes, exactly. Because that's the other, I think, key part of wisdom, is recognizing you never know what's best. So if you have an idea that you think something is better than what someone else is doing, inquiry, curiosity, like, oh, could you help me understand why why coffee is so important to you at midnight? You know, my understanding is that can cause problems for sleeping, but I'm curious why it continues to be one of your practices. And with genuine curiosity, not like, I've heard coffee, I don't have coffee at midnight. That was just an exaggeration example. Gerbot says, Lisa is amazing with her tactful and insightful observations. She really is gifted. Like, she does a lot of one-on-one coaching with people. And it's cool because I know a number of people that she coaches, and I've met them, and I've heard her coaching clients talk to each other about Lisa, and about, like, I think I mentioned this one time before, but like, there's a guy who says, I've worked with therapists for years, and then I had one session with Lisa, and like, oh my God, this is like playing hoops with Jordan after playing just like street ball my whole life. Natasha says, yes, definitely grateful for my partnership, my non-judgmental partnership. Yeah. I think I'm gonna try to share a picture from Saturday night when my mom was holding my brother and I, and my cousin and Lisa all joined in during this song. This is actually, we took a picture after the song, but it's a peak moment. So I'll try to see if I can make this work. So just imagine like being my mom and having your two boys in your arms. And I had these thoughts of, there's a time when I was kind of like sitting kind of right next to my mom and she was like stroking my face. And I was like, wow. I mean, I know how fast life moves. I mean, it must have just seemed like yesterday when she was holding the squirming, swaddled little boy and wiping my, you know, the blanket away from my face. And here she was stroking this white beard of this old man that she has loved consistently for 54 years. And what an incredible treasured experience. We also talked a lot over the weekend. Some friends who had never met my mom were asking her questions and stuff, and so we got to talk about some of the chapters that were a little bit more difficult. Like when the San Diego Reader wanted to do an article about globalgasm, and my mom said, if this goes public, we want you to move away. Doug, hello to you in Spain. Your birthday is the same as my brother's, May 22nd. Happy birthday, Gemini. Yeah, seriously, what a great memory. And it was one of those things where I was like so present with it. And then I was so like aware that, whoa, this is a treasure. Like this, there is going to be a time in the future where I will look to this as a moment, a peak life moment that, will never happen again. And so just really feeling the preciousness of the transitory nature of all things and all people and all relationships. Anyone else want to share any gratitude before we head out into the spread in the world? Oh, one thing that I was talking about to our little meditation group, which is something that we try to do here is, in addition to sharing gratitude, trying to like think about who do I want to be today. Often if you go to a retreat or a workshop or a therapy session or a psychedelic experience, you have these insights of like, oh, I am more loving than I thought I was. I'm more connected than I thought I was. I want to be more like this. And right after a high experience, it's so clear and you think you're going to remember forever. But you don't. But the best way that I know to integrate the wisdom that you gain in life is to every day make an appointment to remind yourself. And that's what this is. This is a daily appointment with yourself and with each other to be like, oh, right, I want to be friendlier. I want to be more open-hearted. I want to notice when I am judging and try to soothe that with compassion. I want to be more willing to be rejected. I want to be more assertive. I want to be more forgiving of others, of myself. I want to love this body that I'm in and appreciate it as it is. Whatever those things are, that is part of these morning gatherings. So I invite you to speak it to the room or speak it to yourself and make that a part of our sharing gratitude so that we remember how much is good, remember who we want to be. So as we go into the day and the obstacles come or the emails come or the car cuts us off, as we start to react, we can go, wait, no. We already discussed this. I'm going to be patient today. So feel free, go in front of me. I'm sure you have incredibly important things to do, and I want you to have a beautiful day. So thanks for being a part of this practice and helping remember and helping remind me. Chris, good morning. Chris says, grateful to be home safe and sound. I also appreciate my first world comforts. Had a once of a lifetime experience though. Is that with the sharks? But hooray for once in a lifetime experiences. I had a friend, actually it was probably like 25 years ago, but they used to talk about virgin experiences. And the older you get, the harder it is to find virgin experiences. Luckily, with my memory, I can have experiences multiple times and it always feels new. Doug says, I've been trying to run or walk several caminos here in Spain. Whoa! That's so badass. And as injured as I am, it's so minor compared to some of the people I've seen. I'm not on crutches, I'm not in a wheelchair, and I'm grateful for my health, even though this past month, it's been very depressing to have been living in pain and unable to move through space the way I've wanted to move in life, in activities, in dance. That's a deep, heavy classroom, you know. You know, the pain of the body and the suffering of the story, you know, and the additional pain that happens when you reject the pain, you know, as you are fighting with, I don't want this, don't want this, I don't want this, that never makes it go away, never soothes it. So finding a way to learn to just be with, that's a tough one, but it's a deep, universal human classroom. Thanks, Doug. Good luck, and how rad to hear that you're doing Camino. High Noon says, I am grateful for you, John. Sharing Lisa and your relationship has made me more insight. I feel less jealousy and more celebratory. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Chris says, yes, with sharks. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited that you got that. Good morning, Brent. Heinen says, I'm also grateful to have therapy today and to be able to dip into the ocean after to release the energy that needs to. That sounds like a pretty stellar day. Heads up, tomorrow, gonna plan to do morning with Lisa. Lisa has agreed to join me for a morning broadcast tomorrow, so I hope we can all spend some time together. If you haven't gathered, I'm very fond of her. And if I can be quiet enough to let her speak, I think you will gain from her embodied wisdom. Erica says, Doug, I completely understand. All of that gets easier. It creeps up, but it gets easier to manage in all aspects. And Natasha says, I am so lucky to be in partnership. It feels like we can tackle all the mounting challenges of life as one gets older. Yeah, that is... I never planned on growing old with someone. And actually, I never planned to be this old. A younger me did not imagine I was going to live past 50. No way. But as I look forward, if it's at all you, this whole getting old thing, I want to do it with Lisa in partnership. It was beautiful. My mom, as she was here, you know, she told a lot of stories about her and my dad and how they've made things work, and how, you know, as this last chapter is their best chapter, you know, and he's retired and he's softened, and I think they said 58 years, something like that. That's just crazy. Crazy. Woo! Well, thank you all so much. Went a little long today because the gratitude was thick and deep. So I would love if we could finish with a hug and feel connected in this place, even though we may not be together physically, but we are together in intention. And it doesn't matter where your feet are, it matters where your heart is. So wherever you are, give yourself a squeeze, appreciating this body, this consistently mechanism, this incredible spaceship to take us through this fertile planet. Let's be grateful for the thoughts that we have, the irrational ones and the wise ones, the sensations we have, the relationships we have, the love we feel, and the opportunities we have to make a difference in teeny tiny ways and sometimes exceptional ways in relieving people's burden and spreading love and light in the world. So let's take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of my dear Grandpa Caleb and everybody here, thanks for joining me for this love morning and being a part of Hug Nation. Love you. Ooh, Gerbot says that younger you didn't live past 50. You're now living a new life. You're totally right. You're totally right. This is a different life. Love you guys.